So there's a vessel vendor in here. This guy sells white vessels. I do not suggest using this, but you can. You see, okay, this is a really good thing. So you see how this constitution attributes goes up +5 and my constitution cap goes up +5. So right now I'm at 175 constitution and my base constitution on this vessel is +20. So now my base constitution will be +25 and my con will go up by another 5 when I equip this. So I'm going to buy this and watch. This is gray right here. I'm going to equip this. Watch the constitution stat. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I sold it. Hold on. Okay, watch the constitution stat. That was anticlimactic. There you go. See, now it's 80. Now this won't change. It won't change on the UI here, but your base stat went up by 5 along with your cap. See how the cap is now 205? Is the domain skill point at the end of the tree like a faction? No. What domains are? Domains are think of it as like a piece of your build. So right now, my entire build name would be a half-elf dark warden, right? Dark is the domain that my build is running. Dark, that domain gives me access to different majors and minors. So see, for instance, corrupted soul, when I hover over it, it says requirements trait dark. That trait dark right there, that gives me the ability to be able to use this discipline. And because I took the dark domain, I can now use it. That's what domains are. I had a quick question for clarity. Will talent points and additional attributes points be awarded after 30, 31, 32, etc.? No, 30, 31, 32, like every time you level up, it raises your stat caps, right? So your soft cap at 200, and every time you level up, it raises it all the way up to 250 based on your vessel that you equip. So each level allows you to equip a better vessel. The vessel itself has higher stat caps based on its quality. So it's not necessarily your level that is giving you the higher stat caps, it's the vessel, but you can only equip the vessel because of the level. Bro, got a good noob question for you. What should we do with our S's loot, like old gear and such? Just vendor, or there's a way to break it down, or what? No, there's no way to break it down. So yeah, just vendor it if you're not going to use it, or save it or sacrifice it on another tune so you can level up that tune faster. What do you need alts for? A lot. Like, so the game is very alt friendly. Like, you're not going to just ever play one character in this game. That's just not going to happen. Like, for instance, some nights during, fights, I'm going to need to play a healer because we won't have enough healers, or I'm going to have to play a tank because we won't have enough tanks, or, stuff like that. Then you also need things for crafters. You also need things for harvesters. You just need all types of shit. You're going to have a lot of different characters in this game. So I'm leveling up. We're leveling up a couple of our characters and farming for gear and farming for gold and things like that. Yeah, we're farming gold right now. So this game has a lot of gold sinks in it to upgrade your crafters, to upgrade your harvesters, to upgrade all of your discipline types. A lot of it has a gold component to it, and the guild needs gold. The guild needs a lot of gold, and players as individuals need a lot of gold. And we're also looking for gear, although gear seems to be dropping at a very slow rate compared to what I'm used to. What is max party size, by the way? It's an adjustable value, so it can change based on the world you're in. Right now, where we're at, it's 5. We're gonna expect buying a white vessel. I wouldn't buy it unless you absolutely have to. I mean, it costs 15,000 gold. So if that's what you're doing, if that's your goal, that's fine. You're not a member of the guild, you're an initiate, so you don't have any requirements on donating. So you can do whatever you want. If you donate stuff to the guild though, you get crafted stuff. Which pack would I suggest? I like the new 6-pack that comes with VIP and the cool new mount and stuff like that. How does my friend leave a guild? So you go to the website and you can leave the guild on the website, or I don't think you can actually do it in game. I wouldn't know because I'm a guild leader. Is there a consistent way of finding raid bosses? Yeah, so raid bosses in the events tab in game, in your chat box, it will tell you when something will spawn. Basically, like if something spawns. How do you get new crafting recipes? You upgrade your disciplines by crafting. Do you have to level harvesting and gathering? It's different. It's not a level, it's a discipline. So as you do the thing that you're trying to do, you get a chance at dropping a green uncommon discipline, and then you combine disciplines to make better versions of the discipline. I have a whole video on this, by the way. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, check it out. Explains it way better than I just did right there. But yeah, basically you combine disciplines of all the same color to make the better version of it, and the better version allows you to do better at whatever you're trying to do. What's it called? Your YouTube? Just do exclamation point YouTube, and it's the how to craft video. These game packs you can purchase, not a little pay to win. They're not pay to win, no. if you can, you know, get a guild to work with, so you can be on maybe a couple hours a night for siege or something like that, then yeah, sure. You're not going to be able to do as much as, you know, as others, but you can definitely be a casual in this game if you want to. What does the end game look like for this game? PvP. Get gear, kill motherfuckers. Get gear, kill motherfuckers. Get gear, embarrass motherfuckers because you've killed them so much, and then get more gear. I have a YouTube video that goes really in depth in what end game really is. If you want to watch it, it's just such a broad answer. It's hard to like just answer that question. You know what I mean? But really, at the end of the day, this game is a sandbox. The developers give us all the toys in the sandbox, and it's up to us to do things with it. If you decide to be the best weaponsmith in the game and you run a player market that people can come to and buy your gear from, right? You're outfitting entire, like, you know, out guilds or whatever, right? Like, that's your end game then, because that's what you want to do. It's whatever you want your end game to be. There's all these systems in the game that's like, hey, do you want to do this? Or hey, do you want to do this? Or hey, do you want to do this? And it's up to you to choose what you want to do. Can you give a quick overview of the different worlds and why to go in them? Okay, so player worlds are your eternal kingdom. It's like your housing, your player housing. You can turn it into basically whatever you want. A market, a guild hall, a PvP arena, lots of stuff, right? Starter worlds are where you do the NPE experience, which is the only quest line in the game that takes you to the tutorial. It also contains Low Sec and Sky Point. These are faction-based worlds with PvP turned on, medium tier harvestables, medium tier loot. You drop half gold in Low Sec, full gold in Sky Point. Faction v factions are worlds that are faction v factions, end game worlds with faction v factions, not guild versus guild, faction v factions. There's 3 factions: Sun, Earth, and Moon. Guild versus guild are same things as faction v factions, but with guilds instead of factions. It's the end game campaigns, big large sieges, 100v100 battles, forts, outposts, small scale, best harvesting in the game, best mob loot, lots of stuff. Losing gear sounds a bit upsetting. How is that? You don't lose gear unless it's the rule set of the world. They tested having full gear drop, but the community didn't like it, so they took it out. But they have that ability to do that in a rule set, and I think they could do something like that. I think it'd be really cool. They would have to probably just change some systems. But what you do lose when you die is in your inventory. It depends on the world you're in on what you lose when you die, right? So if you're in Dregs, which is the guild versus guild hardcore campaign end game of this game, right, where guilds go at it for fucking, you know, bragging rights, big rewards, things like that, you lose everything in your inventory, not what you have equipped. Okay, inside of Sky Point, which is a map inside of the starter worlds, which is this, there's a center map inside of the starter worlds, you lose all the gold that you have in your inventory. In what I call low sec, which are all of these maps that surround Sky Point inside of the starter worlds, you lose half of your gold, right? So it's based on the world you're in on what you lose, right? And now if you're harvesting, say I have a logging discipline, I'm chopping down trees. When I die, if I have a full inventory full of wood, because I have that logging discipline, I'll only lose 50%. I'll only lose half of all the wood I had in my inventory. But there's no way to repair gear in this game, right? So all gear will be destroyed at some point. That's what keeps the economy going. That's what keeps crafters relevant, is they're always having to replenish gear, always having to make better gear, always having to do that, right? Because you can't repair. So eventually your gear will break. You lose durability when you die and when you're in combat. So even in Dregs, you don't drop all your gear. You do not drop all of your gear unless it's the rule set of the world, right? Like, they have the ability to do that. The majority of Dregs that we've tested, so we've only tested through beta, we've had one type of like campaign, which was Dregs, right? And they've tested all these different rule sets inside of Dregs. But really what that's done is given them the ability to make worlds with these different rule sets, right? So I doubt they'll do it in the very beginning of launch or anything, but I really hope personally what they do is they make a full gear drop, easy come easy go gear type of world that you can join that wipes every month, maybe, right? Like, I'm really pushing for this. I really would love like a campaign that you can only bring in a fresh level 30, no disciplines, no gear, no nothing, fresh level 30 inside of this world. There's no guilds, it's all just small group combat. You can invite people to your group, but that's really it. There's high tier loot in the world from mobs and stuff. There's forts, there's outposts that you can still capture. There's still winning. There's still ways to win. But in this world, it's full gear drop. That's kind of where it could go. I'm not saying it's going to go that way, right? But like they have the ability to do that kind of stuff. So in my most recent video, I kind of explain what you want to do once you hit level 25. So like in my most recent video, I talk about doing the NPE basically until you hit level 25, because that's what the NPE does, or using that level up tome to get to level 25, and then what to do once you hit level 25. So it's like 25 is kind of where you can start doing PvP and you got to kind of figure out what to do next, right? And then 30 is like the next part. And I talk about both of those kind of segments in that video. And then I also talk about how to get started in harvesting and crafting.